Good afternoon, everyone. Madunggan ako.
May I ask if everyone can hear Miss Roan? Thumbs up reaction? Okay. Madungog na po.
So I will be discussing PhilHealth Circular number 2020 -004. It's about government policies on no co-payment or no balance billing for PhilHealth benefit packages. So the rationale for this is the Universal Health Care Act. The role of the PhilHealth in ensuring financial risk protection for all Filipinos is further strengthened. According to the Act, PhilHealth shall implement a cost-sharing scheme to include no co-payment and no co-insurance schemes. So it is written that it will be in Section 9, Chapter 3 of the Public Act number 11223. So we will see the objective na lang. And for the scope, this PhilHealth Circular covers governing principles of the design and implementation of no co-payment or no balance billing and co-payment in healthcare providers accredited or contracted regular. So for the definition of terms, so cost sharing refers to direct payment of a portion of healthcare costs by an insured person when receiving health services. Co-insurance refers to the percentage of a medical charge that is paid by the insured with the rest of the charges paid for by the applicable health insurance plan. While the co-payment refers to a flat fee or predetermined rate paid at one time of service. Minimum standards of care. New standards of care refer to all the relevant direct medical services that are essential to improve the health condition or status of a patient. While basic or rest accommodation refers to the provision of regular meals, bed and shared room, fan, ventilation, and shared toilet and bath. Non-basic accommodation refers to the provision of minimum standards of care for patients and includes fringe or additional amenities provided with the facility attached to the patient. Healthcare providers or HCPs refers to health facilities, whether government or private, and all professionals that provide health services. So, for the policy statement, this will be for all members admitted in any basic or wide accommodation, no co-payment or other fees or expenses shall be charged. So, for all members, all PhilHealth members, we have two members naman no, katong indirect contributor and indirect contributors. So, all of them or all of us will be should be maka-avail anin. Members who opt for non-basic and non-wide accommodation, meaning if you will opt for a private room, shall be charged hospital fee for services, professional fees, and fringe and additional amenities just no payment shall apply. So it will also apply for those like Amazon basic accommodation, but you opted to have your private surgeon or your private doctor also as a member. So there we have out-of-pocket expenses. So PhilHealth benefit packages will cover the cost necessary to deliver the minimum standards of care. All healthcare providers shall comply with the prescribed allocation of basic and light accommodation within their facilities, following rules and guidelines set forth by the Department of Health and in accordance with RA number 11222. Compliance with these regulations can be the basis for accreditation and or construction of a healthcare facility by PhilHealth. All hospitals shall abide by the bed regulations in the UPC law as follows. For all government hospitals, shall allocate at least 90% of their approved bed capacity to basic accommodation. All government specialty hospitals shall allocate 70% of their approved bed capacity to basic accommodation, while all private hospitals shall allocate 10% of their approved bed capacity to basic accommodation. Okay, so skip kami na slide. Okay, so date of effectivity. This circular shall take effect after 15 days following the complete publication in a newspaper of general circulation and shall thereafter be deposited with the Office of the National Administrative Register at the University of the Philippines Law Center. Actually, it was published last December 30, 2020 pa. So it was actually effective on January 14, 2021. So for now, we are closely monitoring, starting this month, April 2025, we'll be closely monitoring for the implementation sa inyong pag-implementation sa mga hospitals. Okay. Also, I will be discussing or will be sharing some of for those hospitals or for those facilities na IP cares na assigned. So you know naman yun na aming survey na we-perform every day sa ang assigned hospitals. So this will be an orientation on the PhilHealth local payment patient survey. So instead of PPMF at the exit survey, so this will be ang term na nagamitan, local payment survey. Local payment patient survey ang mga gamit card starting April 1, 2025. So the objective this is to replace the PhilHealth patient exit survey as a monitoring tool in health facilities in compliance with the corporation's local payment policy. Second is to monitor and assess the performance of the health facility with its implementation of the local payment policy. So the scope is the exit survey shall be performed in all accredited infirmary, level 1, level 2, and level 3 government health facilities for PRO with deployed tests for a period of 1 year. So, if you can see, makita ninyo, mauni siya ang sample sa PhilHealth local payment survey. So first, the form has income consent. So in performing sa mga interview, we always ask for the consent of the patient or the member or the significant other to perform the interview, the survey. So if ever together with their complete name and signature, so we will go through with the interview. So it's all about ilahang out-of-pocket expenses, ilahang laboratory, ilahang medicines, medical supplies, so professional fees, and then if there are mandatory discounts deducted, silang hospital bill. Also, if there are access in some of the pay, is paid by the member, by the MAIP, yes, also. Amuan na siya ng lots of remarks. So, we can ask the member kung sa ilahang suggestions or recommendations or sa ilahang remarks sa ilahang pag-abing sa PhilHealth. I think that's all. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Roano, and for informing our hospitals with cares assigned that they will be using this survey to ask patients in the hospital if they really were not objected to co-payment. So right now, I've seen, thank you so much. Now, people are so our speaker, this is everyone. Thumbs up our reactions. We're glad having our reactions. So thank you so much. I will call again, Ms. Roano is still here. I call again Dr. Ronald L. Manguba, head of the Benefits Administration, to come back, for our open forum. So now is the time for our open forum. Give us time to switch through slides for a while.
Sharing the slides profile, give us time to switch the right. Thank you. Give us time to
stop sharing my slides for a while. Give us time to switch to our presentation. Thank you. Use this time to type in your questions or water break for a short while.
Asa man isuwa yung masip asa ato man. Masip asa yung suwa is ini. Ito ba? Awan po na suwa na tayo. Electronic suwa ba? Para pa sa direct. What will happen to our claims without SUA after the deadline?
Going back to the questions listed or sent earlier, no? So give us time to scroll.
Okay, in a minute, we'll be going back to the questions posted or sent earlier, no? So give us time to scroll. So first question here is from Darwin. Let me check if there are older questions. So from Darwin RHU, here, how to check which type of denied claim ang claim submitted?
Okay, good afternoon. I hope I can still hear much. Okay, so for the question of Darwin RHU, how to check which type of denied claim ang claim submitted? So I will interpret this question as what denied claims are included in this circular. Mo siguro napasabot mo Ma'am Sir, no? How to check which type of denied claim ang claim submitted. Okay, so first you have to check the date of the claim submitted or claim filed. So if the claim submitted or claim filed falls inside our time period, which is January 1, 2018 up to December 31, 2024, if sulod siya ang time frame measure, then that means appeal siya. Okay, that is the first criterion, no? So ato ang date filed or submitted. The second criterion would be if the claim was denied solely due to late filing. When I say solely, meaning siya reviewed ang isa ka reason for denial ang late filing claim, either filed beyond 60 days or filed beyond 120 days. If that is the only reason of denial of the claim, that means appeal siya sa ato ang coverage. Okay? So those are the only two criteria that we will consider, no? First, sulod siya sa ato ang time frame, and if the claim was denied solely because of late filing. Okay, so I hope that is clear for Ma'am Darwin RHU. Okay, so let us proceed to the next question from CPH now. Good afternoon. With this current circular flexibility of claim submission, does this mean that the 60-day statutory period will be abolished also? Okay, so the answer to this question is no. It's because starting January 1, 2025, we have observed the 60 days filing period again. Okay, so meaning for claims filed starting January 1, 2018 until December 31, 2024, we have given some sort of leniency in claims filing deadline. Okay, but starting January 1, 2025, that means first day of this year, the 60-day statutory period is fully implemented again. Okay, so balik lagi gihapon ato ang 60 days statutory period of claims filing. Okay, I hope that answers your question from CPH Danao.
Thank you, Doc. Correct. So let's proceed to City Health Office Naga. Good noon, Doc. Applicable ba sa animal bite o TB dogs ang 45-day benefit limit rule?
Okay, so for animal bite and TB dogs, yes, applicable siya ang 45-day benefit limit rule. So since ato nang gi-lift or i-cancel nato ang kining limitation, that means wala na yung 45-day benefit limit rule.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. Appeal ang animal bite and TB dogs. Appeal sa gi-lift.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. Let's proceed to the question of Ma'am Luwala May Arod. No? Pwede ba may maka-request of list of our denied claims due to late submission from previous years in sir if dili na siya available sa web?
Okay, so nindot mo siyang question from Manuela. Okay, so the answer to that question is most probably dili, ma'am. Okay, because it is our setup office that provides this list of covered series numbers, and they will incorporate it to our system. So meaning, dili sa doing access sa kining mga denied claims due to late filing. So it should be the facilities who would monitor and account for these denied claims due to late filing. Okay? So dapat ang inyuhan ng personnel in charge ang responsible for accounting all these denied claims due to late filing.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc Greg. Next from Anda Municipal Infirmary, how can we monitor the appealed claims, Doc?
Okay, so if you have denied claims that you appealed in CRC, no? So the question is how to monitor. So if ever you have not received any decision of finality from PhilHealth, that means those appeal claims are still pending for decision. Okay, but if these appeal claims are solely due to late filing and are found to be covered by this PhilHealth circular, then that means PhilHealth would reprocess them internally. So soon, if ever PhilHealth would finish reprocessing these claims, you will know. Mabawa na kinalingin na if ever ma-reprocess na sa PhilHealth. So ang atong usual process and reprocessing is still the same, no? Our staff, PhilHealth staff, will do the appropriate adjudication. If the claim is complete and properly accomplished, then we will process them for payment. Okay, I request everyone to please mute your microphones. Thank you.
Let me scroll back to your questions.
Okay, so let's proceed to the next question from Ms. Cheryl Rodriguez.
No need to submit Annex A, flexibility in claims transmittal list for the first and second group.
Okay, so the answer to this question is yes. If ever the denied claims belong to the first and second group, then no need to accomplish or submit the Annex A. It's because PhilHealth will process and reprocess them internally. Okay, because these claims belonging to first and second group are in possession of PhilHealth. Okay, so the answer to the question again is yes. No need to submit Annex A for first and second group.
Thank you, Doc. Next here is CPH now. Can we expect that there will no longer be 45 benefit exhaustion as reason for the denied claim?
Yes, the answer to this question is yes. As long as the circular or the claim was submitted and the effectivity of the circular is already in full implementation, then yes, there will be no longer denial of claims due to that particular reason, 45-day benefit exhaustion.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Regno. The next question we have here is on from Mary Claire, Booking Center. Good afternoon, Doc. Asan po paano makuha ang level 1 certification with, I believe this is for ISO 1.
Okay, good afternoon, ma'am. For level 1 and 2 certification, it is not the facility who will accomplish this. It is your service provider, your EP or your third-party provider. So, example of that is this bus or iHomies, iClinicSafe, or your internal service provider. So, it is their responsibility to accomplish level 1 and level 2 certification. Now, the question is how will you know if your service provider is already done with their level 1 and 2 certificate? And then it is for your facility to coordinate with them. You ask them if they're already finished. Okay, we here in the regional office, we do not have the complete list of service providers that have already accomplished the level 1 and 2 certification. But we have heard reports that this box already accomplished the level 1 and level 2 certifications. However, for 100% confirmation, kindly coordinate with your service provider.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc. I think natin mga similar questions ang following, Doc, right? We have a question here from Doc Panogan. Medyo ba dyan? Ang may cases ba kay nanay certification para sa ISOA?
Okay, so our best advice for that, Michael Panogan from Baglan, is to communicate with your service provider, with DOH for iClinicSafe if they have already accomplished level 1 and level 2 certification for ISO. It is them who know if they have really accomplished the requirements for these 2 certifications. So please, ato lang mo coordinate, Doc, sa inyong service provider for 100% confirmation.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc Red. Similar questions following up from PS Maternity Clinic. How do we get the ISOA? Mentioned by Doc Red earlier na coordinate and possibly follow up with your service provider. No, you can call them since you were the one who engaged with them. Please ask them what level are they in now? Are they certified with level 1 or 2? Para you can start slowly submitting ISO during claims filing. Thank you very much. Let's proceed to the question from Ma'am Eva. Ma'am Eva, from UCMed. Good afternoon. About the 45 limit, include ba ang chemotherapy administration na nito? And next is for flexibility in claim submission, only Annex A ang i-submit through email. No need for us na mag-submit sa hard copy sa claims.
Okay, so good afternoon, Ma'am Eva from UCMed. So, question is about the lifting of the 45-day limit. Included ba ang chemotherapy administration na nito? Okay, so our circular says that for all case rates and all other benefit packages that implement the 45-day benefit limit rule, yes, it will be lifted. So, included ang chemotherapy. Yes, included ang chemotherapy. Then for the next question, flexibility in
that allow us to go back to the question now.
Okay, so for the next question on iba, flexibility in claim submission, only Annex A ang isubmit through email. No need for us na mag-submit hard copy sa claims. Yes, only the Annex A soft copy should be submitted through email. Okay?
I hope that answers your questions, Ma'am Eva from UCMed. So here, another clarification from MedicPro. With regards to the SOA, do we just have to wait for our system provider to be approved?
Yes. So you have to wait for the system provider to be certified completely, because if they have not yet been certified, that means you cannot accomplish submitting the electronic SOA. So for those facilities that have service providers that have not yet been fully certified, that means submitting SOA in PDF shall be accepted.
Thank you very much, Dr. I hope that answers your question, MedicPro. From Mimi's Working Home, similar question. Don't know, how do we know that they are accredited? Coordinate and call your next here, after the reaction, yes, another question from Mimi, follow up. If it's BizBox, our accreditation is automatically good na ba do?
Okay, so again, our advice here is to coordinate with your service provider to get 100% information that they are fully certified for the BizBox. So I only mentioned the BizBox having a full certification from unconfirmed reports. So for 100% information, kindly coordinate with your service provider para sure na fully certified sila. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc Reg. Okay, so similar question, Doc, from Ma'am Chona, how to know if within the SOA we're using BizBox. Again, you communicate and please call BizBox if they are already ready as 3.0 for eSOA submission. Next from CPH now, Mr. Ang, good afternoon. If an good afternoon, if an NBB patient cannot go home during the day, they may go home. They might go home order because some of the lacking documents is still uncompiled. Complied, example, clarification of middle name, and stayed in the institution for 10 days after the date of order to go home. Is this still covered with the NBB rule?
Okay, thank you very much for this question. So our answer is yes, it is still covered by the NBB rule because the circumstances did not change. The patient is still NBB eligible, and the facility is also a government facility. So for instances where there are documentary requirements, siguro our option there is for the patient to okay, so for the patient to promise to come back with the necessary documents to clarify the discrepancies in the middle name. No? Pero as far as discharge is concerned, so we should let the patient be discharged accordingly as to when the attending physician ordered the may go home order. So our advice is for the patient to promise to come back to the facility to accomplish the necessary paperwork or documents to clarify the discrepancies in the middle name. But still, this scenario still, NBB still applies.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Reg, for clarifying that situation and scenario translation. Now, so let's proceed to North Med Renal Dialysis Center. No question, I have a question regarding flexibility coverage. What to do with returns that have not been refiled at all? Is it possible for us to ask a copy of the return notice the notice that informs the health facilities the deficiency of each return claims. The RTH notice, Doc.
Okay, so I will give our staff, particularly Sir Jonas Howla. I think you are familiar who Sir Jonas is, no? He is the team leader of our RTH and denied claims team. So I think he is the one in charge for keeping records of RTH and denied notices. So for inquiries similar to this, maybe you can contact Sir Jonas. And hopefully lang ma-retrieve niya ang mga previous mga RTH or denied notices.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc. Ma'am, I think this is an NBB-related question from Clarin Community Hospital. Ma'am, para ba ni sa direct and indirect contributor, NBB na batanan? I think this is the form or no payment.
For this one, this is for direct and indirect contributor, yes. NBB na tanan as long as they are in accommodation, so in ward accommodation. And also, or kaya namili sila sa ilang private doctor, private surgeon, so i-provide ka naman sa hospital para nila. So, the direct and indirect contributors, so may po naman sa ating direct contributors, employed government and private, private workers, individual pay members. So, for the indirect contributors, sponsored members, most especially those POS sponsored by the hospitals, indigents, selected members, the senior citizens, so, kaya sila. So, with this circular, 2020-004, it's actually keeping all members, all PhilHealth members ng NBB.
Okay, thank you for that, Ms. Roan. I hope that answers the question. Clarin Community Hospital, no? Let's proceed with a question from Chongwa, Ma'am Cheryl. What will happen to claims without an ESOA after the May 30 deadline?
Okay, so for the PhilHealth advisory that was just released, no, that I presented, those facilities that are already ESOA certified, they are obliged to submit ESOA starting April 1 admission. Okay, so for those facilities have service providers that are still not yet ready, meaning they are still not yet fully certified and they are still not yet ESOA certified, then the SOA in PDF form shall still be accepted. But please make sure that your service providers are also working on their certification level 1 and level 2 certification for the ESOA, because we really expect that for those service providers that are not yet fully certified, they will be fully certified in the very near future. So gamay na lang siguro kulang ang ma-share ang ilang mga required documents siguro. We fully expect that in the near future, all service providers will be fully certified and will be ESOA certified.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Greg. Next here from a similar question, I think it was answered. Paano makukuha ang level 1 and level 2 certificate?
This was already answered, no? Sige, we will answer again. It is the responsibility of the service provider. When I say service provider, this is not the facility, ha? Hindi na siya hospital. It is your service provider. Example, service provider, iClinicSys, iBomis, Disbac, so sila ang responsible magpa-certify sa level 1 and level 2. So it is not the facility. So if ever they are already fully certified, that's the time that the facility will submit the ESOA.
Okay. I think Clarin posed the question again, but Ms. Roan already answered this. Para ba ni sa direct and indirect contributors and binabatanan sa NovoPay? So the answer was yes, Clarin Community Hospital. Next, from Josefer Baquial of CDG Bohol, what will happen to our claims if without ESOA after the deadline? I think a repeated question, but I nag-ask siya clarification.
Okay, so if ever there is still no ESOA after the deadline has lapsed, we will look into your service provider. So ang tanawin yung service provider. If your service provider is still not yet fully certified, then we will accept your SOA in PDF form. However, again, if you are already certified, so fully certified na yung service provider, that means you should be submitting electronic SOAs already. Okay, so the advisory mentioned starting April 1 admissions. Dapat electronic SOA na dyan for those facilities with service providers that are already fully certified. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much, Doc Greg. From Cebu Kidney Dialysis Doctors and Specialists Inc. Good afternoon, sir. Pwede na po bang ma-file ang February to March na claims namin since ang ESOA at CF5 start beginning of April 2025? Kasi nag-stop filing po kami dahil sa post na ESOA at CF5 po. Thank you po.
Okay, so thank you for this question. No? So the inquiry is about admissions from Feb to March 2025. You know? Okay, so the question is, shall we start filing these claims? And I would assume that Cebu Kidney Dialysis Doctors and Specialists is already ESOA certified. Okay, so if that is the case, then yes, you can already submit those claims. So even if you already submitted the electronic, so even with admissions prior to April 1, let's say March admissions, then an attachment is electronic SOA already, then we will still accept it.
Okay, thank you. Again, I'd like to repeat, for those na asking if you are ready, what will they submit? Again, PDF file of your ESOA's hanggat gapon. But remember, starting April 1 admissions, ESOA na supposedly.
Yes, for ESOA certified service provider.
So for ESOA certified service providers, atong ready na ng mga system providers ninyo, ma'ams and sirs. So next here is ma'am from CPH Bugo. Wait, I will call on Ms. Rohan. Ma'am from CPH Bugo sa PhilHealth Circular number 2020, series number 24, series of 2020, ang mga direct contributor appeal ba sila sa no balance billing?
So, since Rohan is still out of the room, no?
We will get back to this question, no? CPH Bugo. Allow us to proceed to the renal care clinic na question. Can you use our old SOA, Doc, if not yet completed?
Yes, we still accept SOA in PDF form if your service provider is still not yet ready.
Okay. Yes, pwede pa? If not yet ready, ang inyong system provider. From PCHC, Flexibility in Claims, Doc, what if dili na ma-receive ang chart due to typhoon or death for attachments nila, Doc?
Okay, so for the flexibility in claims, PhilHealth is only requiring the Annex A or the transmittal list. So we do not require for the facilities to submit the physical documents or claims. Okay, so all you need to do is to submit the soft copy in the Annex A transmittal list. Okay, so yes, so in the Annex A you only need to fill up the 5 entries. So the series number, the PIN, the admission date, discharge date, and the and the fifth fear. Okay, so no need for the physical claim or documents to be submitted.
Okay, let's go back to the question from CPH Bugo, from Ms. Rohan. Ms. Ro, sa PhilHealth Circular number 24 of year 2020, ang mga direct contributor, appeal ba sila sa no balance billing?
Yes, hello. Thank you for this question. Appeal ang direct contributor for the no balance billing. So, for now, ang no balance billing nato, it will be termed no co-pay na siya. So, it is both for direct contributors, so katong employee private, government, migrant workers, and IPM, individually paying members. Then, as long as they are in the basic accommodation or ward accommodation, that is why ang katong mga government hospitals are encouraged to have the 90% bed capacity. Katong bed ratios dito sa ilang hospitals na 90% for government hospitals. For government specialty hospitals, 70% should be in basic accommodation, and then for the private hospital, there would be 10% of basic accommodation. So it is for all members, PhilHealth members, indirect and direct contributors.
Thank you, Ms. Rohan, for that. I hope na-clarify na si PH Bugo. So all members. Next question, no? Clarification from Darwin. Dili, sir, upon checking, there are 5 types of claims na covered sa flexibility. Kanina reason, asa ni siya ma-appeal? Reason for defect kay filed beyond 120 days statutory period.
Okay, so appeal na siya sa coverage for flexibility. So if ever you have denied claims due to kanina reason, meaning filed beyond 120 days statutory period, then that is considered a denied claim due to late filing. So appeal siya. It is part of the coverage of this policy. So all you need to do is just check the submission date. If the submission date falls between 2018 to 2024, then appeal it siya.
Okay, I saw a thumbs up from Darwin, Doc, so na-clarify na. Appeal siya. Thank you very much, Doc Reg. Another question for the no co-payment policy. I think, Ms. Roa, na pa ba implementing guidelines na POSI Health or considered as effective na or mag-start effective na this month? Saan daw is Ms. Roa?
Actually, you can see sa Circular 2020-024, there are the policy statements na. So, it is written na unsang iyahang process that na-added to. Okay, go back to slides.
For a while, we will look at our slides.
Okay. So for the policy statements, so letter A, for all members admitted in any basic or ward accommodation, no payment or other fees or expenses shall be charged. So it is good as once dealing, same na siya. And then healthcare providers shall comply with the prescribed basic and accommodation within their facilities following the rules and guidelines set forth by the Department of Health in accordance with RA number 1123. So mauto siya nakatong bed ratios na to, all government hospitals 90%, all government specialty hospitals 70%, and all private hospitals 10% should be have a bed capacity bed basic accommodation. So ang implementation or effectivity of this circular was this circular is 2020-024, published last December 30, 2020. So shall take effect after 15 days of following the complete publication. So 15 days, January 14, 2021. That's effective na siya. But then, mauna siya very so we are encouraging na pwede karon starting this month of April 2025, pwede na mo mag-nahinay. So we can closely monitor your implementation.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Roan. So, effective na siya, no? Okay. For a while. So, let's proceed to clarification on ISOA. Kung saan pagka-qualify sa ISOA, Doc, kay effective naman April 1.
Okay, so, isa na mo ang ISOA. First thing the facility should do is to ask your service providers if they are already fully certified and they are already ISOA certified. Yung first thing ang inyong buhaton. Now, for all facilities, kindly ask your service providers if ISOA ready na ba sila. Okay? If the answer is yes, then starting April 1, 2025 admission, dapat ISOA na inyong attachment. Hindi na sabi na. Okay, but if the answer is no, then that means we will still accept your SOA in PDF form. But malihog na lang po kung paano kasi yung service provider na if you are still not yet ready, then when will you be ready? Na lang. Okay, because we really expect that in the very near future, all service providers should be ISOA ready. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Doc. I think it's a similar question no, with Care Dialysis Center. Yes, please contact your service provider and ask asan na sila sa certification or therapy for their system na makasubmit na mo ISOA sa new claims. Next, let's proceed to Concepcion Memorial Hospital. When po i-implement ang no balance billing, Ms. Roca? I think answer na rin ni Ms. Roca, no? Pero
as repeat now to April, pwede mag-intay sa inyong process, procedures on how to implement the circular, the no-pay circular.
So, yeah, it's stated na now is a good time to start. Next, from Medical Mission Group, Bohol, how to know, sir, pwede na may mag-ISOA? Similar question, no? Please contact BizBox. Ask BizBox if ready na ISOA. And they will update their system so that you can start submitting electronic SOAs. Please, again, for all the facilities, maybe the first thing after this orientation, no, you can start communicating or start contacting your service providers on their ISOA readiness or their claims 3.0. Claims 3.0. Next, we have from Mom's conception, as of date, we have many RTH in our facility. How long do we wait for notices to be received? And if not delivered, what shall we do?
Okay, so if ever you have claims that are for return to your facility, then you should expect that you will receive the RTH notices. However, if you observe that you have not received any RTH notice, you can contact our office. So, pwede inyong i-contact silang Surgeon Aula, sila ang mga staff in charge for the RTH and the migration. For the usual claims processing, if ever you have claims for return, then after a few days, siguro, you will receive the RTH notice by email.
Okay, thank you, Doc. Next here, referring to the May 30 deadline, yeah, without an ESOA, Doc, I think this is the level 2 certification.
So again, if ever your service provider is not yet fully certified, then your SOA in PDF form will still be accepted.
Thank you, Doc. Next, Doc, pwede ba makapangayo copy sa tanan RTH resource? Doc?
I would say, pasabot na ni Sir. Can you elaborate on this?
Please elaborate on this,
Sir J.M. Llanes or Monty M. Llanes. Di ba makapangayo o copy sa tanan RTH resource? Then pwede ka mo go back niya.
We will come back to this question later, Ma'am Sir Llanes. Next, good PM from Cordova Birthing Center. My patient is a preemie, 25-year-old, direct to delivery. Can she avail MCP? This is a question outside of the current topics, no?
Yes, so the answer to your question, ma'am, is no, because the MCP package of like is delivery plus prenatals. So if your patient is a preemie and without any prenatal, so dili siya MCP ang dapat i-apply. Okay, but this is outside our topic. Can we request everyone to stick to our
related? Keep our questions related so that also Dr. Reno can address your questions properly. So we have 3 topics for this, 4 topics for this afternoon. Thank you, ma'am. Also, Dr. Reg answered that. For the next questions, let's keep the questions related to the circulars discussed this afternoon. Thank you very much. Next, Doc, naami denied na BAI AE K45.90. Reason for denial in case not compensable. So may buot pasabot pa nito.
Okay, so my advice is to please contact our office from Claring Communication because I cannot review your claim. Hindi na makita ang say so what's in your document. So kindly contact our office na lang, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc. And also for similar questions later on, no, outside of the 4 circulars discussed this afternoon, please use our proper communication channels, be it email or sa calls. And if the calls are not ringing or not responding, please understand that there are many incoming calls sa BAS, and also if cannot be reached BAS, you can always contact Reach Out or other offices. Most prefer Reach Out. Next, we have good afternoon, sir. If the facility is updated na sa system ISO but naa pa mga claims for submission month of March, okay ga ba na nga attached also then ang system updated na?
Yes, pwede ra because those belong to March admissions man, di ba? So our earliest na deadline is April 1 admissions man. Okay? So yes, pwede rin siya. March admissions also ang attachment.
Okay. So I hope that's clarified no for everyone. April 1 admissions. So ang required electronic SOA if ready na yung provider. Good afternoon, Doc. Ang denied claims due to non-compliance, pwede ba ni ma-appeal sa refile, Doc, sa flexibility?
No, the answer to that question is no. So for this policy, it should be denied claims solely because of late filing. If the reason for denial is due to non-compliance, then those denied claims are not included in the coverage of this policy.
All right. Thank you very much, Doc. No, ako sa clinic. I Doc from Mandaue City Hospital. Nag-isowa na mini pa ba na mag-attach of scan copy sa printed SOA with signature ni member and villager?
We get back to this.
Okay, Mandaue City Hospital, we will put that question first. We have a question here from Congressman Bert Macias Memorial. Can we respectfully ask a copy of the presentation? Later on, we will be sending a shareable copy of the presentation. Next, we have good afternoon, Doc, sa PhilHealth Circular number 6 of 2025. Naka-receive me or CRC transmittal. In referring to Annex A, BC ba ang email?
So only Annex A. So I assume you are referring to CRC transmittal that indicates the final denial no, of your appeal claims. Okay, so if ever you have claims that are already in your possession, then all you need to do is submit the soft copy of the Annex A only.
Okay, I hope that's clarified, Ma'am Christine Luzon. From CPH Bugodok, ang dependent appeal ba sa 45 days lifting?
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon. If those denied claims beyond 60 days that are not appealed, do we need to send a letter of appeal from Negros NOPH?
Okay, no need to send a letter of appeal. All you need to do is send the Annex A transmittal list via email.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. Not related for this topic though. Okay, I ask now, Doc will answer this question. Good Doc, clarification lang sa pneumonia cases, ilang days di ay need naka-admit ang patient?
Okay, so first of all, pneumonia cases should be at least moderate risk. Okay, so if you are admitting pneumonia cases with mild risk or low risk, that means you are admitting non-admissible pneumonia cases. So most probably, those claims would be denied. However, for your question, how many days the admit patient? So, as a general rule, our days of admission for cases or any medical case is at least more than 24 hours. Okay? But that does not mean na automatic bayaran na yun ng inyong medical case rates. Okay, so very good example here is pneumonia cases. So we all know that pneumonia is one of the POSA claims. Okay, so for POSA claims, PhilHealth conducts strict medical rating and review. Meaning, we will review and evaluate and assess the details written in your CF4. Okay, so if your admitting diagnosis is pneumonia moderate case, then it is expected that your CF4 should reflect those signs and symptoms, history of the patient that is diagnosed indeed with pneumonia moderate risk. Okay, but if in your CF2, the details reflected there are that of a pneumonia low risk, so that is a reason for denial. No? So the reason for denial is non-compliance to standard of care. So why did the doctor admit the patient and diagnose him with pneumonia moderate risk, and then in the CF4 it did not reflect the accepted or the common signs and symptoms and history, medical history of that patient with pneumonia moderate risk. Okay. So again, it should be more than 24 hours. However, for POSA claims, PhilHealth will conduct strict medical payment review.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Greg. I believe Dr. Greg answering that question opens gives other facilities to ask follow-up questions about it. So again, let's keep the questions related to the circulars being discussed this afternoon. We encourage everyone to stick to our topic this afternoon. Please understand that there are several hundreds of you this afternoon. Allow us to go over some of the questions, and after some time, I will be closing the open forum. So to also give time for Dr. Greg and Ms. Roan. So good PM, sir. How about other reasons for denial of denied claims such as incomplete essential newborn care, appeal sa leniency or flexibility?
So no claims that are denied due to incomplete essential newborn care are not included in the policy. Only those denied claims due to late filing.
Okay, thank you, Doc. Only for late filing reasons. So follow-up question, Dr.
Not applicable. So other reasons not included.
Still the same question. So other reasons than late filing is not applicable.
Yes.
Not applicable, everyone. So other reasons not included. Other reasons other than late filing is not included in this recent circular na flexibility of late filing of claims. Good day. Kanina ba nga email ang sentences of copy Annex A or apil pa ang basa 07@philhealth.gov.ph or magkanibalik sa mga Annex A? Thank you. From Perpetual. Kanang na-change.07 na or bas.pro.
Which
So we will clarify this.
Okay. We will clarify this again on which is it one? Which email should you send the annex? Is it James or Sebastian Pro 7? When mag-start gamit sa ISO sa pagkakaroon og suwa pa man ang gamit, which is manual. Again, this was answered by Greg repeatedly no na for April 1 admission sila. But your system provider is not yet ready for CBIZ box. Please, you can use the PDF file of your SOA. We'll still be accepting by the Next, allow me to scroll, no? Okay, so next here is, hi Doc, ang bidet, dili na ba siya mag-no due to exhaustion, due to exhausted benefit limit starting April 4. If mag-no siya, unsa ang mag-attach or mandawin sa health hospital.
If ever the people would say no because of that reason lang then no need na of additional attachments. However, if there are other reasons for the people to say no, then you have to comply and attach those documents.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Next from North Medina, just clarification po. Since it was mentioned that claims under the flexibility coverage are those denied solely due to late filing, does this mean that claims that were denied due to late filing of the RTH returns are not covered in this program?
So covered siya for claims denied due to filing and refiling. Covered siya.
North Medina covered ang late filing. From RHU Alegria, per DOH guidelines, we are mandated to refer PRIME and G5 and up to higher facility. We will be parking this question. This is not related to our circulars this afternoon. If ever po level 1 and level 2 na po yung service provider namin, ano pong next namin gagawin? Yes, you will start, you will coordinate with your service provider and start sending. Yes, so advised as instructed by Doc, no? Questions that are similar like this, again, everyone, if your system provider is ready, may start submitting electronic SOA. If it's the service provider's responsibility ang SOA, Doc, what if si ISO, si provider ang naglangan-langan kung sa'yo mahitabo?
Okay, so if ever maglangan-langan ang service provider, then they will give the risk, okay, not just to them but also to you, that your claims in the future will possibly be denied due to non-compliance with electronic SOA. Okay, so if naglangan-langan sila, if you observe that there is no urgency on their part, then what you can do is you can emphasize to them that PhilHealth is really encouraging the submission of the ISOA. If ever naglangan-langan sila, there will come a time or there will come a point where PhilHealth would not anymore offer any extension. Okay, so please advise them properly if naglangan-langan sila.
Service provider.
Okay.
And if ever maglangan-langan sila, the facility has an option to disengage with that service provider and engage with a new, more competent service provider.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Greg. Will SONOS automatically adjust its system to recognize extended confinement claims, especially on the PBEF form, or do we need to specify it in a particular way? From Ace Bayawan.
What do you mean by automatically adjust?
I think sa flexibility or sa 45-day benefit limit nito. Ace Bayawan, clarify it later on. Please elaborate in your chat. I believe we have similar questions. No? What if one of the compliance service provider? What will happen to the claims if we got ISO after the deadline? So I believe Dr. Greg was already mentioned what happened.
Okay, so we have a correction, no? Master, so we apologize for the error. So we will type in the chat box the official email where you will submit your Annex A transmittal list.
So,
okay, so all Annex A transmittal lists should be sent via email through benefits.pro7@unit.gov.ph. Okay, so this is the correct email address to send your Annex A. So we have just received feedback that puno na to katong previous email. So we will correct the previous email. This is the new and correct email address. Benefits.pro7 at philhealth.gov.ph.
Last two
Thank you.
questions.
Okay, since we're almost reaching 4 p.m. no? So I will be drawing a line. Last two questions na lang ta.
Wala na.
Allow me to go over the questions related to this afternoon's topics. Okay.
The questions about those claims na wala na file covered ba siya ni circular no?
Let me go over the questions. How about those claims na wala na file covered ba siya ni circular do?
Okay, so no, those claims that were not filed to PhilHealth, that means these claims have no series numbers, no? So they are not included in this policy.
Okay. Next though, I think this is a related question. Good after for chemotherapy daily treatment mo, maka-use na ba ang patient daily sa PhilHealth or per cycle gihapon?
Still per cycle.
Ma'am Jean, may abong per cycle. Okay, kanino? Is it
So the question is, what is the reason?
is it okay to avail chemo in one facility and radiation in another facility within the same day?
Okay.
By chemo?
Okay, so the question is, what is the reason why there are two facilities handling one patient with two different services? So most probably daily available sa first facility, either radio or chemo. So yes, pwede siguro na, but I think PhilHealth will monitor the two facilities, no? For possible abuse. Pero if ever sakto ra jud, maybe PhilHealth would ask the two facilities the explanation as to why there were two facilities handling one patient.
Okay. Related to the no co-payment survey, by Shwa, the no co-payments will not be performed in level 3 hospitals. Please confirm, Ms. Rohan. The no co-payments will not be performed in level 3 private hospitals, Ms. Ro?
It actually will be performed by the cares that are assigned in the level 3 private hospitals. So, naano mo yung mga level 3 private hospitals na naapod ng PCares. So, dili lang po tingin na tanan. So, we are working on it na masunday ang tanan or high exposure within sa 1 year. Mga gihatag po na timeline. So, maybe within this quarter or the next quarter, there will be PCares na ma-assign or visit to perform that no payment survey. So, I really cannot give exact dates or kung saan siya, on how to go about that. But
For Chongwa,
for Chongwa, PCares aside in Chongwa, Mandawi. But in Frente mo, wala pa. So, I still have to clarify kung ano siya mabutaman po.
Okay.
And the current hospitals dito, nahanap ng PCares na aside. So, nag-perform na po sila sa no co-payment survey.
Okay, Ms. Rohan, in related to the no co-payment survey, I would like to clarify if the patient waived from the doctor's advice and decided for HAMA, can they still avail for NBB, Ms. Rohan?
Ano? Yes. Oh.
Yes.
Yes, they can still avail the NBB or the no co-pay even if kanilang status kay HAMA. As long as follow sila sa general rule na nasa basic accommodation or ward accommodation and no private entity and nag-asikaso nila like a private surgeon, private doctor or any other ilang own amenities. So,
Okay, again, thank you, Ms. Ro. Another question here, Ms. Ro, no, wala siyang tanong sa answer about sa indirect contributor, NBB, direct and indirect contributor, NBB na ba? Thank you. Tarin Community Hospital.
okay. I'll get to confirm the no co-pay is for all Filipinos or all PhilHealth members. So, actually, it's direct and indirect contributors. So, for the direct contributors, the ID, the individual paying members, the employees private and government, migrant workers, while the indirect contributors, POS is sponsored natin the hospitals, indigents, lifetime members, senior citizens, 4Ps or family members. So, sila. So, unlike before, dito sa NBB na nasa circular from 2017, na-repeal na siya karon circular sa 2020-004. So it's all for the members like you. So all hospitals are directed to as early as now, and kana pwede ka mo maghinay-hinay mag-implement sa local pay. While PhilHealth, so the PCares will be assigning your hospitals, then mag-perform sa survey, the local payment survey na.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Ro. Speakers are the one who perform the local payment survey. So,
okay, so to go back to one pending question, I think from Mandaki City, if ever the claims already have an electronic SOA, do we still need to attach the scan SOA with signature? So the answer to that question is no. No need to attach the scan SOA. If ever there is already an electronic SOA.
okay, thank you very much, Dr. Greg. Nalang question. I know there are lots of questions, no, but please remember, simple na to factor ang sa ESOA. So if ever di pa ready, again, you can continue submitting the PDF. If di pa ready in your service provider, accepted pa as per Dr. No, ang PDF SOA, the usual way of sending your SOA. But right now, you also have to follow up with your service providers. Ask them, asa na sila sa ilahang papa-certify, ready na ba sila makasubmit ng ESOA. So right now, maula na, di na nato i-complicate ang things, mao to ang ibalik-balik ni Dr. No, na ito already isang unusual way of inaandan na way sa pag-submit of SOA. Next here is for hemodialysis units, Ms. Ro, does the no copay apply? What if there are additional supplies and medicines which are not covered by PhilHealth?
Kinsa man ang nakatag sa amenities? Or the members ask for the amenities?
May we ask clarification for this?
So if ever the member will ask for the extra amenities out of pocket amenities.
Yeah.
So dili na sila ka-avail sa copay.
Patient's choice.
If ever ilang choice na kana mag-add sila or mag-add sila o like other amenities, mag-TV pa sila sa ilang ward. So ila din ang out of pocket expenses na.
Okay. I'd like to remind everyone, I understand that there are several questions, and also due to time constraints, also Dr. Greg has to go back to the office. I hope we answered most of the questions related to the circulars discussed this afternoon. So for those with follow-up questions, can you send email your questions to benefits or reach out so we can properly forward your inquiries to specific offices. So next, we have an update here, someone from RHU, Sabbalan. As per iClinics' user regarding ESOA, I think RHU Sabbalan asked DOH or iClinics on his or her partner regarding ESOA still ongoing pa ang system. They will give advice away if ever okay na daw. So this is, thank you for this RHU Sabbalan for this update. Mo hatag advice away si iClinics for those who are using iClinics. So, everyone, I would like to end the open forum as also advised by Dr. Regno. So, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time in joining us in discussing and clarifying some statements and concerns with the recent circulars na nagawas. So, in behalf of our chief there, our OIC chief, Dr. Maria Liza A. Batucan, thank you very much for responding to our invitation. And any last words, Dr. Greg? Okay, so in behalf of Dr. Greg, we would like to thank everyone. And again, if you have further clarifications, please call or use the proper communication channels. In as much as we also want to extend, we also need to put an end to our open forum, kay dili na mapas ang tanan mga questions in just one sitting as.
Ma'am, wait ma'am. May question pa po kami, ma'am. Wait lang, ma'am.
Properly write your questions, and we will give us time to address them. So I hope that will be enough for this afternoon. Again, we sent our evaluation form link. We ask everyone to please complete the evaluation form for this online orientation. So again, let's give a round of applause, no? So for Doc Reg was present, was answering questions nonstop, and Miss Roan was also entertaining your questions. So let's give them a round of applause, heart reactions from everyone. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We ask everyone to, again, please send thank you so much to Toledo City General Hospital for their heart reaction. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Again, please, thank you for a round of applause for our speakers this afternoon. There were so many, I believe there's still so many questions, but let's use now our emails. We ask you to write your questions, prepare them, and send them to reachout@7@philhealth.gov.ph. I hope most of your questions were answered this afternoon, no, related to the circulars. And for those questions are not related sa atong circular, please write your questions. Thank you so much for your heart reacts and applauses. And also a reminder to our dear health facilities. We sent the evaluation form link in the chat box. Everyone, my colleague will be sending the evaluation form again. Please accomplish our evaluation form and let us know what you think, your comments and suggestions. Also, please be reminded, dear health facilities, that so that PhilHealth, also HDMB, BAS, and Reach Out, know that you are reading and you are sending, you are reading and checking our updates and messages. Please reply to our communication emails. Simple okay or noted or acknowledge will do. We just need to know that you have received our email. Please let us know that you have received our emails or our announcements or notices that tell you na na-post na ang bagong circular. Please reply to our emails. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon. Thank you and goodbye, everyone. You may start leaving the meeting link. Thank you so much.